Just came across some footage on YouTube, and people are really skeptical about this. Donald Trump could be the Antichrist. Now, the footage that I've got for you today, there's loads of Jews in Israel and people all over the world, Jewish people, calling Donald Trump their Messiah. They're calling him the Prince of Israel. I think they were even calling him the King of Israel as well. He was given an award, and on the award it said, Prince of Peace, Donald J. Trump. Jesus is the Prince of Peace. You're going to see in this video Jewish religious people saying that Trump is their Messiah. He's the Mashiach. If I pronounce that right, Mashiach. That's what they're calling him. Okay, we should pay attention to this. Yes, we should watch for the coming of Jesus Christ, but we were told, okay, that the man of sin would be revealed first. That day shall not come, except there come a falling away first, and the man of sin be revealed. The son of perdition, who opposes and exalts himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he seats himself in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. The Antichrist comes first. We're clearly told the day of the Lord's not going to come until the Antichrist is revealed first. Watch this clip that I've got you. It's 17 minutes long. You're going to see the Jews of Israel calling him their Messiah. Okay? He's also posting loads of things on his Truth Social of him with a crown on his head, and he's calling himself a king. There was just protests all over America about Donald Trump. They're not happy with him being a king. No king protest. Okay? Guys, you know, when the Jews in Israel start calling a man their Messiah, that must raise red flags. Because we're told, that they reject Jesus as their Messiah. And Jesus said to them, if another shall come in his own name, him you shall receive. So when the Antichrist comes in his own name, they will receive him. Look at what they say. Watch to the end. It's shocking.
Interesting. I was visiting Jonathan in his Jewish voice, so I went to the Jewish deli, and of course we had the discussion on Trump. I asked them, who is Trump to you? And you know what they said? Trump is our new Messiah, actually. They want to believe that Trump is the Messiah. What I think is happening here is God using Donald Trump to hasten the coming of the Lord. This is really what is happening here. And we need to stay tuned because he's lining up with Israel right now in a major way.
I'm going to give you a name of somebody. You come back and give me one name or one descriptive word. Trump.
Don't take this wrong, but remember I'm Jewish, and a Messiah is, in Judaism, is a person who would bring the one true God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob to the world. A Messiah means a great leader, a great prophet. I believe that Donald J. Trump is a Messiah for what's called the New Jerusalem, which is the United States of America. He was it, and he opened everybody's eyes. That's the only way I can describe him. He's a prophecy fulfilled.
What I believe is the one who's going to switch from Yahweh to Avoid is Donald Trump. He will turn America from Yahweh to Avoid, because everything he says indicates that. He's going to really be a tremendous president in the United States. Tremendous. He's going to stand up to all the nations of the world. He's going to side with Israel when he realizes that they cannot make peace with Israel, as I've said before, because it's theologically impossible. And that's why I believe, remember I said that the Gemati of Donald Trump is Gemati Mashiach ben David? You know what that means? He, I believe, is the Mashiach of Edom. Well, Mashiach is nothing more than an anointed one, right? That completely reverses the order of something. Trump, I believe, is the Messiah of Edom, of Esau. And therefore, he will take them from Yahweh to Yahweh, from someone who afflicts Israel to someone who will assist them. And believe me, he's going to be fabulous with the Jewish people.
And you don't have to say, well, I don't know, where's he at? I don't like the way he talks. I understand all that, but the thing is that we're talking about God's purposes. That's what we're talking about. God uses whom he'll use, but he was used. He also was used very powerfully for Jerusalem. Jerusalem, recognizing Jerusalem. He's the first modern leader. First leader since ancient times who recognized Jerusalem. As that. he was used in some very, very important ways.
What I believe is that, this is a quote from him, he says, what I believe is that the one who is going to switch from Esau from persecuting the Jews to Esau who is serving the Jews is Donald Trump. Rabbi Kessin claims he is going to purify Edom.
I want to promise you one thing. If Trump was the president right now, we would be able to win 10 times faster and 10 times better against our Nazi enemies. He would give us any weapon we want, unconditional. He wouldn't care what the world is barking about. He would shut down these European liberals and tell them just be quiet. I run the show here.
Don't forget, I don't know if you haven't watched the show, I happen to be Jewish by birth, and 75% of all Jews vote Democrat, and they don't like Trump, and this is the greatest president for Jews and for Israel in the history of the world, not just America. Trump's the best president for Israel in the history of the world, and the Jewish people love him like he is the king of Israel. They love him like he is the second coming of God.
I am the chosen one.
I am the chosen one.
This was a special token of affection given by myself and the First Lady to Prime Minister and the First Lady of Israel. And it's a key, we call it a key to the White House, and it's a key to our country and to our hearts. And you've been an amazing leader for a long period of time, and this is, in many respects, the big day, because this is something that's very special. And we just left UAE and Bahrain. We're going to meet outside in a ceremony, and it's just a very important event, and it's an honor to have you with us, baby. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. President. And I have said, and this is true, that you have the key to the hearts of the people of Israel because of all the great things you've done for the Jewish state and the Jewish people. So thank you.
You know, there are prophets that say the world will come to an end in the Middle East. You know that, right? Presented to President Donald J. Trump for his extraordinary and heroic efforts. I like that very much. To help the state of Israel and the Jewish people. He and his family should be blessed eternally from the Israel Heritage Foundation, July 10th, 2023. I want to thank you, Rabbi. That's
something. It's a little present. The head rabbi of Ukraine.
They want you to mail
and some of the rabbis in Israel.
They want everybody at this table. They do, but they don't understand the cost of it because they're inefficient.
In the Hebrew religion, they wait for the Messiah to come.
Wow.
So the Messiah, Moshe ben David, if you take their name, you see where it adds up 424. If you take your name, Donald Trump, and then Israel, it adds up to 424. It's something that is very, very unbelievable.
What does that mean?
It's like you have the same numbers than my Messiah, you know.
Meaning it's good.
Yeah, it's like not good. It's like best. It's like miracle.
Why 424?
It's like name of Messiah, you know.
That's his name, Messiah. The Messiah comes out to 424.
What are the numbers you have?
No, it's not the numbers.
It's exactly the number.
Your name, and the numbers, it adds up to his name. It's 424 in the Jewish. So it's like Messiah is the person that's come to save the whole world. So it's like you're the savior being this. That's for you.
It's amazing. We just thought we're like, wow. It's amazing, you know.
It can't hurt. It can't hurt.
So, all Jew people of Ukraine, they're praying of you. You know, they're like.
Show it to Jared. He'll explain. Good.
He's like.
Saudi Arabia, which is also notable, as he walks by himself up to the Western Wall. Let's listen.
Notable as he walks by himself up to the Western Wall. Let's listen.
and only Micronesia is rooting for us. When the stars of Ishmael are Marlene, don't you worry, Trump exists.
And I got to tell you, the turning point of this election is when Donald Trump and I stood by the grave of, and there's a picture of me and Donald Trump making prayers, at the grave of Rabbi Menachem Mendel Schneerson. That's the moment when this election was decided. For pure Zionistic laser power, that is when this election turned. Boom. Check out the polls. October 7th, 2024.
I will curse those, right, who curse you?
Yeah, correct. There you go. God coming through once again. I had a going theory that I told some friends before this, that God definitely wants Donald Trump to win. I've been saying this for a while, that God clearly wants Donald Trump to win. There's only one reason: God turns Trump's head right at the last minute, and the bullet misses him by this much. Now I'm just, pretty optimistic at this point. I gotta say, I'm enjoying the evening. The enjoyment portion of this evening has officially begun. It's now a Jewish holiday. That's right. It went from tragedy to triumph. That's right. It's time to break out some symbolic rituals. It's time to eat some kosher food. It's time to imbibe, and it's time to speak some Yiddish.
We have no prophecy today. God does not articulate his plans through the mouths of human beings, but he has other ways of communicating. I'm no prophet, and I could be wrong, but it seems obvious to me that on Shabbat, July 13th, in Butler, Pennsylvania, and in front of the eyes of the entire world, God's voice was heard loud and clear to anyone whose ears were open, and he chose the second non-Jewish Messiah. President Trump's right ear was grazed in a symbolic gesture of Exodus 21:6, where the Torah states that a servant who wants to remain with his master needs to have his right ear pierced. Trump was designated as God's servant and anointed one, just like Cyrus the Great almost 2,400 years ago. And I have good reason to believe Donald Trump was chosen to be the one to redeem the sins of Esav through offering his assistance in rebuilding the Holy Temple on the Temple Mount and establishing the Jewish kingdom over all of mankind in Jerusalem.
About a month after he came down from the escalator saying he would run, for whatever reason, I realized, wait a minute, he is Esav doing tshuva. And therefore, he will do incredible things for the Jewish people. And not only that, but he will win. And the President of the United States is an emperor of Rome, because the U.S. is part of Esav, right? Part of Edom, part of Rome, and so on. And that's basically who he is. So that's who Trump is. He is really a messianic figure. He is a messianic figure in terms of Edom or Esav. In fact, I once mentioned that the gematria of Donald Trump is 424, which is the gematria exactly of Mashiach ben David. So he is a non-Jew who's part of the process of bringing the Mashiach. His job in that capacity is to remove evil from the world. I mean, it's unbelievable what God has done for Trump. How many ways he saved the man. I believe that what's equivalent to the splitting of the Red Sea is the U.S. government arrayed against Trump, trying to destroy him to the extent where a quarter of an inch closer to his head would have killed him. You see, that is the power and the might of the Rebbeinu Shalom. Trump has a mission. That's what it tells us. So this reporter raises his hand and he says to Trump, by the way, why do you think God saved you? I think Trump was taken aback. So Trump says to him, please repeat the question out loud. That's what he said. Why? Because he probably wanted everybody to hear his answer. You see? So he wanted to make sure that everybody hears it. So he repeated the question out loud. You know what Trump answered? I'll tell you. What he should have answered was MAGA, Make America Great Again. Basically, that's his campaign promise. He didn't say that.
Do you know what he said? He said, maybe God wants me to save the world because the world is going downhill. That is a messianic answer. So he recognizes that there's a divine mission, not only for America, but for the entire world. Trump won and he crushed evil. That means that the window shut and the gates that opened up the messianic light opened. He's going to change America. He's going to change the world. Not only is he going to make America great, he's going to end the Arab-Israeli war. You have no idea what Trump is going to do to this world. So we are looking at a victory of good that has never been seen before, except by Mitzrayim or by Matan Torah and so on. This is messianic, and this is a fulfillment of the messianic process. But you have to understand what Trump is going to do. He's going to end the Arab-Israeli war permanently. Not only that, he's going to bring Saudi Arabia together with Israel. And once Saudi Arabia, which is the main concept of Islam, that's the end of the Arab problem. Because then all the Arab nations will join because they all want to be protected by Trump. The whole concept of Trump winning miraculously and then being removed because of satisfying justice, which is identical to Egypt. That's where the model is. You know, nobody can believe it. Of course, they're all saying, well, Trump ran a great campaign. Nonsense. It has nothing to do with his campaign. He doesn't even understand why he's still standing, let alone win to be the president. Because this is all part of the plan of God to assist, and therefore, in the end, to assist Mashiach ben Yosef. And in the end, what we're going to see is unbelievable. The prophecy of Rav Yavoy Tzoyer, the older will serve the younger. That is the beginning of redemption. And guess what? It happened on November 5th, Tuesday, 2024.
I am the chosen one.
So now I'm going to show you a few things that are going to tie in with it. If you got to the end of it, thank you, because this is very important information. Because there's a lot of people that are saying that Donald Trump couldn't be the Antichrist, but they're completely missing what's happening biblically. Like, they're missing the prophecies that are being fulfilled. When you've got Israel calling Donald Trump their Messiah, you should pay attention, because you're told that the Antichrist is revealed first and sits in the temple of God, showing himself as God before the day of the Lord. Okay? So that's going to come first, and we should be warning the people, the non-believers, about it. Okay? So that they might not be deceived. So I'm going to show you a few things now. He's posting things about him being a king. He's posted things about him being the lion, the beast of Revelation. J.D. Vance even posted him as a king in response to these protests going on, and no king protests in America. Okay? The beast rises from the sea. It's going to rise from America. Right? And Israel are going to receive him. They're going to receive him when he comes. When another comes in his own name, you shall receive him. That's what Jesus said. They reject Jesus, and now they're calling Trump their Messiah. So Trump's coming in his own name. His name's Trump. He's coming in his own branded name, and they're receiving him. As you've just seen there, they've said he's their Messiah. Here's some pictures, okay, of this award that they awarded him. They awarded him a crown. Israel, the Jews, awarded him the crown. And on one of the awards, on the plaque, it said, the Prince of Peace, Donald J. Trump. Jesus Christ is the Prince of Peace. They're calling Donald Trump the Prince of Peace. He's the one that's doing the peace treaties in the Middle East. He's the one who's put himself at the head of the peace board in the Middle East. And they're calling him, the Jews in Israel are calling him the Prince of Peace on an award they gave him. That's the Antichrist. That's what the Antichrist does. He comes, okay, and he sets himself up in place of Christ. He brings this false peace. Who's that sound like to you now, guys? And then on the award, there's literally named Donald Trump the Prince of Peace. Christians are blind. They can't see what's happening. They're missing the main point. They're missing the main Bible prophecy is being fulfilled. They're missing it. They're blind. It's shocking. And some Christians are that blind. They're even following Trump. They're following him through this MAGA movement, Make America Great Again. MAGA's the fifth degree in the Church of Satan. Donald Trump could be the son of perdition. Okay? Look at all these things I've got to show you. So here's the religious Jews, and they're kissing this crown. This crown that they're all kissing was given to Donald Trump. Now we know in the Bible the Antichrist, the rider on the white horse, is given a crown. Okay? He's given a crown. Here's the crown they award Donald Trump. There's a crown. It doesn't say he's wearing the crown on his head, does it, guys? It says he was given a crown. It was given to him, passed to him. Here the Jews are kissing the crown. Now the Antichrist, the rider on the white horse that goes out to conquer, he has a bow and he was given a crown. Now the key point of this is he has a bow but he doesn't have arrows, which means he doesn't come in war. He comes in peace. And he's the one over the peace board in the Middle East. He's the one that's just signed a peace agreement in Egypt. The reason the rider on the white horse has a bow but no arrows is because he doesn't come in war. He comes with a bow because he comes in peace. And he's given a crown. Look at the Jews, the religious leaders. What are they doing? They're giving him a crown. This has gone over everybody's heads. You automatically think that Trump's going to come riding in on a white horse throughout the world. He's going to have a big crown on his head. And you're going to see it like that. It says that he was given a crown. Okay? So look. He's giving Trump a crown. He was given his seat. He was given his power and great authority from the dragon. He had a crown. Look, he's holding a crown. And it gets worse. This is perhaps the most shocking part. He was given another award, which are the lamp sticks, the lamp candles. So he's holding an award of lamp candles. Okay? I'm going to read to you what it says on the placard nailed to the award that was given to Trump. As you can see the placard on the award that he's holding. It says this. This menorah, which represents the eternal light of the world, is presented to President Donald J. Trump in honor and celebration of doing what no other man has ever done. And that is to make peace between Israel, the United Arab Emirates, Bahrain, Morocco, and the Sudan in the extraordinary Abraham Accords. Scripture says in Numbers 25:12, therefore say, behold, I give him my covenant of peace. Further in Isaiah 9:1, for our advisor, mighty God, eternal Father, shall give him the name Prince of Peace. The Israel Heritage Foundation, with profound gratitude, presents this covenant of peace award to the Prince of Peace, President Donald J. Trump. Monday, February the 26th, 2024, the 17th day of Adar, 15784 Mar-a-Lago. They have called Donald Trump the Prince of Peace. That's Jesus Christ's title. Jesus Christ is the Prince of Peace. They gave Donald Trump a crown. I'm sorry, guys, but I think the majority of people are ignorant. I think this is pointing to Donald Trump being the Antichrist. I do. It's right there in front of you. The Jews in Israel have called him the Prince of Peace. The Prince of Peace is Jesus, which means Donald Trump is being put in place of Jesus in Israel. So not only is Israel called him the Prince of Peace, but we've also covered on this channel how a couple of days ago he was in Egypt signing a peace deal for the Middle East. Look at the picture. Donald Trump's in the middle. All the world leaders behind him, including Arab leaders. Peace in the Middle East. That's what the Antichrist brings, a false peace. It's not a real peace, it's a false peace. It gets broken at the halfway point of the 7-year tribulation. He breaks it, yes, and then he invades Israel and he sets himself up in the temple of God and forces everyone to worship his image and take his mark. It's all lining up, guys, and people are just ignoring the fact that Donald Trump is doing more than any other world leader in the world for Bible prophecy. He's fulfilling the roles of the Antichrist. Okay, peace in the Middle East. Israel have rewarded him the Prince of Peace award. They gave him a crown. What more could you possibly want to see to be convinced that there's something not right here? Peace in Egypt. He signed a peace deal with all the world leaders and the Arab leaders with Israel. But Israel wasn't there. But as we've seen, Israel are calling Trump their Messiah. Okay? Look, Jesus has said here, look, John 5:43. Now really pay attention, okay? I am come in my Father's name, and ye receive me not. If another shall come in his own name, him ye will receive. That's Trump, okay? They refuse to receive Jesus Christ as Messiah. They refuse to receive him as the Son of God. But they will receive the Antichrist who will come in his own name. And the Antichrist has a crown. They've received the man. The official White House page posted this. Congestion pricing is dead. Manhattan and all of New York is saved. Long live the king, President Donald J. Trump. They've got Trump with a crown on his head. Trump is being pushed as a king. And at the minute, we're having protests all over America. The No Kings protest against Donald Trump. In response to the protest against Trump being a king in America, he responds by posting this from J.D. Vance. Trump and J.D. Vance fire back at No Kings protest with AI video of him as a king. J.D. Vance also shared it too. So Donald Trump and J.D. Vance are sharing Donald Trump with a crown on his head as a king. That's never happened in America before. You've never had a king with a crown in America. It's time to wake up. You've got Israel calling him the Messiah. They're calling him the Prince of Peace. And we know the Antichrist comes and he's given a crown. He's also called the beast that rises from the sea. Look geographically on the world map. It's America. In this AI-generated video that Trump shared, as a response to the No Kings protest in America, Trump has got a crown on his head and he's flying a jet and he's dumping human feces all over the people protesting in the cities of America, as I will show you now.
Were largely peaceful protests. Millions of Americans gathered at more than 2,700 different locations throughout the country for what were called the No Kings protest. It was estimated that between 5 million and 8 million people attended. But I want to talk about how President Donald Trump responded to all of those people protesting him, because he did so in the most vile way possible, even for him. He posted an AI video of himself, and here's a screenshot, and you can see that there is a jet fighter with the words King Trump emblazoned on the side. And I was really unsure about showing this video because that's how vile it is. However, I am going to do so because this vileness is coming from the President of the United States. So here's the video. We see the plane with the words King Trump taking off. Then we learn that the pilot is actually Trump himself, and he's wearing a crown. And then it shows him literally dropping feces or sewage on top of the protesters. And these protesters, as a reminder, are American. They are in America, and they are exercising their constitutional right to assemble peacefully and express their views through protest. And especially if that protest is in traditional public forums, such as streets or sidewalks or parks, this is protected by the First Amendment. but the video has Trump, and pardon my language, literally taking a dump on these people. That is how vile he is. And it's not only extremely vile, Trump is actually flaunting his vileness by posting this on Truth Social. And there's also a great deal of symbolism here because Trump is literally dumping sewage on America. And he's making it clear what he thinks about those who disagree with him. So that's all I wanted to say. I just thought it was important to show the video that Trump posted on Truth Social because it demonstrates that he is proud of his vileness, that he undoubtedly thought this was funny because he has no sense of right or wrong. He is extraordinarily vile, and just when you thought he couldn't get any more vile, he does.
Daniel 11:36-38. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god, and shall speak marvellous things against the God of gods, and shall prosper till the indignation be accomplished, for that is determined shall be done. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any god, for he shall magnify himself above all. But in his estate shall he honour the God of forces, and a God whom his fathers knew not. Shall he honour with gold and silver and with precious stones and pleasant things. So in Daniel 11:36-38, we are told that he will honour a God with gold and precious stones and things. His estate, his Trump Tower, is covered in gold. It's full of gold. So he honours a God his fathers did not know and honours him with gold. That God is Apollo. He has a picture on the back wall there. Apollo led in his chariot by horses. Okay. So there is the God of forces that he honours with gold. It's Apollo. Yeah. He also has paintings of Apollo on his ceiling in his estate, in his mansion. And as you can see, all over his mansion is gold. He honours a god of forces, Apollo, with gold. There's his estate covered in gold. On the ceiling, you can see Apollo up there on the top with its horses in its chariot riding with its horses, yes? There's the god of forces that he honours with gold in his estate, the Trump Tower. According to Daniel, he says the king will do as he pleases. He will even seek to change times and laws. So he's going to change times and laws. He's going to exalt himself above every god. He will exalt himself above the Islamic God, the Christian God, the Jewish God, every God. He's going to exalt himself. And he's going to force the world to worship his image and take his mark. Okay? But the God he honours of forces is Apollo. Okay? Which is seen on his ceiling and in pictures surrounded by gold. And what I find amazing is, as we've already established, he honours a god Apollo in his mansion. Revelation 9:11, and they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in Greek tongue have his name Apollyon. Apollo, Apollyon. And look at Abaddon. Abaddon. Donald Trump. Abaddon. That's interesting too. But yeah, Apollyon. It's funny, isn't it? Because they named the moon landing in America Apollo. The whole thing's a deception. All of it. Then he says about going to Mars. We're going to plant the stripes and stars on Mars. It's all a lie, guys. It's a big deception. They've brainwashed the entire planet through America and the media and the tech that's come out of there. He also shared these on Truth Social of him as the beast, the Lion of Revelation. The beast from Revelation and the beast of Daniel, the lion, with the mouth like a lion, the body of a leopard. Donald Trump shared himself as that on Truth Social as well. So I thought I would add that in there as well with the video. So it all ties in together. It looks like he could be the beast of Revelation, the Antichrist. As I've shown you today, Israel are calling him the Prince of Peace. They're calling him their Messiah. And look, he's posting these things of himself as a crowned lion beast on True Social. He's posting himself even to this day, yesterday, as a king with a crown. Time magazine here as well, a crown, a king, looking at himself as a king in the mirror. Okay? And the biggest thing that he shared on True Social recently is this: the world will soon understand nothing can stop what is coming. I think I already understand, and that's not me being boastful or prideful. I genuinely think that it's all coming together. I think he's the son of perdition, and that's what the world's about to find out. So we're at about 35 minutes now, so I don't want to make it too long because the attention span of people, they can't go that far. Half an hour is long enough for them. Their brains don't work properly. So I'm going to finish this video with the Gospel of Jesus Christ, which is written in 1 Corinthians 15:3-4. For I delivered unto you first of all that which I also received, how that Christ died for our sins according to the Scriptures, and that he was buried, and that he rose again the third day according to the Scriptures. Believe in that Gospel of Jesus Christ, death, burial, resurrection, and you shall be saved. Quite the video today, wasn't it, guys? I might be making another one later. I might do a walk and talk video. So yeah, but I hope you enjoyed this video. Until the next one, God bless.